How's it going, everybody? Been a while since I streamed. Yeah. Well, today I'm gonna do a quick FSE flight, FS economy, from Talkeetna to. Let me make some updates here. Got to remember how to stream again. Alright, so we're in Alaska. Still loving to fly Alaska, especially now. I have switched over. If you're joined me before, I was primarily X-Plane. I have switched over to Microsoft 2020 Flight Sim. Loving it big time right now. So let's get going, and we'll talk in the air, catch up in the air. Just double checking to make sure everything's running. Alright, looks like it is. Alright, so let's add some flaps. We are in the Barren today. Verify indication. And if you haven't streamed with me before, I do use track IR in my airplane. I know sometimes it makes some people sick. I don't like that. So, but I try to minimize it as much as possible. So, but I definitely don't know how to fly without it anymore, because it definitely brings that immersion level in. So we are in Talkeetna, Alaska. Just about the part we're gonna go south towards the island that is just west of Anchorage. So we got our packs loaded. I got my FSE Connect right here, and let's announce we're departing the south.
Papa Alpha Tango
and I will start
November 914 Hotel
FSE.
Taking off runway 1 departure to the south.
Alright, FSE started. This is kind of a test stream too, to just see how the internet's working with streaming, all this other stuff, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I am running live, well, not live traffic, but all multiplayers, all players. So if you're in the area, you know, come say hi, whatnot. But I know Anchorage was hopping yesterday because there's very rare, nice, clean air out here right now. So let's get going. All right, let's. All right, cowl flaps are open. And let's get our landing lights on, strobes on. And what am I forgetting here? Actually, only the second time I've flown the Barren so far. So, gotta double check my lineup. This guy is not landing. Alright, so let's get on out here. Alright. One of the things I'm still trying to work out is taxiing. It's not horrible, but I feel like I have to put so much brake pressure in to get the turn at slower speeds. But alright, mixture full. Flaps are an approach. I want approach. Wait. Alright, there we go. Already have them down. Alright, everything's good. Power full. Alright, I'm gonna get this out of the way here. Alright, ease into it. Full power in. Pull that back a little bit. Alright, there we go, 90. Rotate. Gear up, tap the brakes. Alright. Right, 800, we'll go flaps up. and get those props to 1500. Alright, 1500, and we'll go 25, 25. Alright. Flaps are up, everything's cleaned up. Alright, we're good. So I want to change something real quick here. I want to... I've never had to deal with stream yet. So one thing I want to do is I want to take engine sound down just a little bit. Let's go 50 for that. And I'm assuming we'll do that. Warnings, we'll go 50. And I think that should be good. Alright, apply save, and go back and resume. A little bit better. Alright, everybody. Well, welcome to the stream again. I am GA Sim Pilot. Streamed a lot about 2 years ago. 3 years ago. And then I had my daughter, who is turning 3 next weekend. And life's been a little less hectic. So I feel like I've flown a lot lately. A lot. I just sometimes I just don't have really the energy to split my my energy with flying and trying to stream. So that's why I haven't. If any of you missed me, and just really just trying to enjoy it as a relaxing thing. And I think I came to the conclusion the other day that part of that I am going to go down a little bit more on those engines. I think part of that comes from being around people that you have similar likes, right? So what better way to be with some aircraft and aviation enthusiasts? Bring environment down. Maybe that one's the other one. So let's apply and save. Let's go back. Actually, as a matter of fact, I know that isn't there the headphone thing. No, I'm not gonna mess with it. So yeah, I got a little bit of time in 2020 so far. Still a little bit loud, but not horrible. Also, let's see, is there prop sync on this? Prop sync. Yep, right there. Oh, not functional. Alright, cool. That's fine. So, yeah, really liking the sim. Really liking the sim. There's aspects of subtle nuances of flights and the type of planes. I'm thinking you can get away with stuff on this sim that might bite you in real life and maybe in X-Plane. For instance, I think the only comparable thing I can really say, I mean, definitely flew the Baron a lot in X-Plane, and this really does not feel a whole lot different. I'm definitely kind of an old-fashioned aviator where I like the steam gauges, but I can tell you right now, being a guy who flies in Alaska primarily, there's been times where I literally couldn't see anything but synthetic vision. So that was interesting to learn by fire on that. So I mean, it was pretty cool. I'm kind of, I would say wouldn't say it's my preference to have the G1000s, but I definitely am getting more of like, okay, I like it, you know. Even especially in so as far as my add-ons, obviously only got the Alaska mesh scenery. What else I get? I got the Husky, which I absolutely love the Husky. Modeled very, very well. I enjoy that. I enjoy that plane a lot. Got a lot of the free stuff like the Bush League Legends airplanes and sceneries, and then what else? So I did just get the Porter. So I'd say with that, the Porter is definitely the biggest one that I can look at and say, here's the differences between Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane, right? Milviz, Thoranda, both two big names when it comes to X-Plane and P3D and all these other aircraft. So, they did a really, really good job on the Porter. I love it. I'll probably stream it this week some point in time because I've been flying in and popping and getting a lot. All right, so we also want to do odds, so we'll level off at 7,500. So I like the layout and the simplicity that Milviz did on the Porter. With that being said, I like the additions they rolled into it for a sim like this. Like, if you haven't flown in the Porter yet, there's really, really cool windscreens that are up on the top. And, just they would block that view up at the top. And then you can fold them up. I think one really, really cool thing that I liked that Milviz did, and like I said, I don't have any other payware aircraft yet, but instead of the typical X-Plane menu on the side of the edge of the screen, they actually put like a tablet on the side, which is really cool. That's where you do all your settings and configuration changes with the airplane. So I like that. I like that little feature because I can tell you, as a matter of fact, I was talking to some of my guys in my group today, and I think one of the biggest things that has drawn me on Microsoft Flight Simulator and have made it almost where I'm kind of not looking back on X-Plane right now, is the simplicity of being able to have a fully immersed experience. All right, I made the comment, not having to double check and make sure that I got ortho loaded in that area, or the scenery matches, the runway's flat and it doesn't have any errors, and then making sure I have 16 different plugins going, one for weather, one for this, one for that. It's all in the same package. It's all in this package, and I can tell you that I ran X-Plane very well, but there was days where there would be very, very severe overcast or highly populated areas like LA that I would definitely feel the stutters and the frame rate hit. I've yet to really get what would be a normal day's worth of stutters out of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And with that being said, and all that put together, just like I said, the simplicity of being able to get in the plane. And so let's level this thing off. And if you haven't flown with me very much, you'll know I just don't always turn on autopilot. I like hand flying. It's the spirit of general aviation right there. So I'm fine tuning my trim right now to get this back up to 75 and hold it. And I want to lean out a little bit here, so I'm pulling back. And I'll go over, after I do that, I'll go over some of the changes to the sim. Where's my EGT? Oh, CHD. So I can pull this back a little bit more. Not seeing too much. So I do have, I'm working it with it right now. I do have the Bravo Alpha or the Honeycomb Alpha and Bravo Throttle Quadrant and Yoke. I have the Crosswind. What is it? MF Crosswind rudder pedals. Had those before, but the Bravo's really just amazing and quite nice to set up. My initial time setting up for this sim, I thought it was going to be a pain of an hour-long tedious task, but they did a really good job of integrating and putting in some default profiles that really made things a lot easier. So, alright, here comes our altitude, and let's just settle right in there. 75. Get that trim wheel in there. Alright, pretty close. Right. And then the fact that you just literally got this multiplayer integration going on. And what's hilarious is, you know, like all multiplayer games, is seeing the hilarious names that people pick up. So it's just awesome. It's just awesome. I was flying last night and landed in Anchorage, and then I had seen somebody with TTV in the end of their name, and it's like, all right, I'll go look on Twitch, see what's going on with that guy. And sure enough, it turned out to be an older guy, new to flight sim, and pretty much doing his first flight in Microsoft 2020, and just you could hear the excitement and enjoying the flight, and that makes me feel good. I gave him a couple pointers on things that he was looking at and wasn't really sure what he was looking at and all that, but it was so cool. It's so cool to see, you know, feel like I was talking to somebody else today about this, is that it seemed like there's a really big push or draw right now with while the pandemic happened, for sim games to really take off, and very non-traditional sim games, like you got Lawnmower Simulator and Car Mechanic Simulator, which I did get and played around with for a while, but these sim games are really kind of giving somebody I feel like a sense of, you know, accomplishment, right? Doing a job, whatnot. And but I think flying definitely, like IRL pilots will say, is the amazing thing of joy of flying. Definitely gets people excited, and by far, I mean, you can't for Xbox users and decent PC owners to have views better than my 6 terabyte hard drive of ortho for X-Plane. You know, hey, that's awesome. And not having frame rate hits, it's pretty cool. But right down there is Wasilla. So it's about the halfway point between Talkeetna and Anchorage. So we're actually making pretty good time. That island that's directly in front of us is actually the island we're going to, and I want to double check that. So I got my screen over here. We're going to Fire Island. Got my sky vector open. Double check my charts. That's what happens when you just have some rough days and you're already fried from the work day or whatnot. Okay, so now what am I doing here? Fire Island. So let me fly the plane at the same time here. 6 AK5, 6 AK5. Pretty sure it's on the island right there. Yep, yep. So it's right there on the island. We're gonna want to get low. And actually, I switched my view, my OBS view, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So if I go to display capture, so maybe look at the sky vector charts here. Alright, so these fly charts are VFR rules and kind of general ways of flying through this area. So as you can see, we're coming this way right here, kind of where those fighter jets are going. So this is the Charlie of Anchorage. So you definitely want to stay below that unless you contact them, which we will in a second here. As a matter of fact, I'll probably let approach know.
Anchorage approach Beechcraft November Niner 14 Hotel.
But it's pretty cool to understand a lot of the major airports all in the US have this system of ways to get around busier areas, so you can kind of not be restricted from 2954. Alright, altimeter change. So let's look for instance here. So we're coming from the north, and this is a segment. They call these segments. So this is like the, what is it called? The mid-channel. Alright, so they want us, do not fly. I missed that, right?
Roger, Beechcraft 4 Hotel.
Alright, so I definitely have not been into this airport in this sim. It was kind of a tough, tricky little strip to get into. So we're actually going to go around this inner shelf here. So we should be able to see that. Yeah, so we see that right there. That's the inner shelf. And we're going to go to the island. And right off the nose, if I go back to game, right off the nose here, oh, you can't see my cursor, right there, is where our airport is. So we're going to drop it down. I'm going to get these cowl flaps closed up, keep the engine warm, and drop down to like 10, 14 manifold pressure. And you know, I quickly went over it for a sec, but you know, there's rules in these different segments, and you can imagine when it comes to VFR traffic, this area is just absolutely insane. You have a major airport in Anchorage right here. You have Lake Hood right off the side of it. Then you have another general aviation in the Merrill. Then you have an Air Force base right next to it, which is just, you know, already something you don't normally see in the lower 48, right? And then you got an Army base at the Bryan segment, Bryan Airfield, helicopters, and then a restricted. So, I mean, so much convoluted area here. So, if you come up here, like say we wanted to go to Lake Hood. Alright, so this is the to or from Merrill. Do not fly between 600 and 2000 MSL. And the Elmendorf segment right here fly only 917. So as you can see, we're kind of west of it, so we'd be in that mid-channel segment. So they'd want us in do not fly between 2,000 and 1,200. So we'll drop down to 1,000 because we're kind of going to want to get in that range anyway. We definitely want to look this approach over and try to get my speeds right. Like I said, it's only the second time I've flown the Baron. We got a dual engine. It doesn't do too bad on short field performance, but it's just definitely not one of those. I have full damage turned on, so it's definitely not one that I want to lose my FSE flight on by clipping a tree, which has happened numerous times since I started flying 2021. Matter of fact, a funny thing about that was
hotel contact Anchorage approach on 123.8.
I did a
Going to 123.8 Beechcraft for hotel.
Okay, we're gonna check in.
Anchorage approach.
Then we're gonna get our clearance.
14 hotel 3,800
doing a little
feet.
backwards.
Beechcraft November 9er 14 hotel Anchorage approach altimeter 29.54 continue as planned.
Alright, so we'll get our Class C transition.
Anchorage approach Beechcraft November 9er 14 hotel. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Beechcraft November 9er 14 hotel Anchorage approach. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
I mean, it's really nice to have
Cleared through Charlie airspace Beechcraft for hotel.
it's really nice to kind of have a built-in integrated ATC system just to basically learn from. It definitely came from, you know, flying heavily in Pilot Edge and going through all the CAT ratings there and then the I ratings. So I understand the concepts a lot better. And so then you can see where some of the flaws are in the ATC of, like, you wouldn't even have, when you were with Anchorage Center, you kind of would have been asked, are you going to go in the Charlie and whatnot. So, but anyway, it took me forever the other day. I couldn't leave Anchorage because the weather was IFR, and I was like, how do I leave this place? And didn't realize you actually have to put a flight plan in the G1000, and then it'll let you. So, but you can also disable that too and take off in some very, very sketchy conditions. All right, so we can see the cutout right here of where the airfield is. We're going to do a overfly of the fields. I'm going to just kind of get everything squared away with my speeds and whatnot. And you know, if you're new to Microsoft Flight Simulator and you're really trying to dial in and understand an airplane, I saw this here. This is definitely very helpful in the assistant. Of course, I've shut everything off, but here's your V speeds that are very, very important. Your takeoff speeds 50 to 59 knots, landing speed 88, 79. We're loaded up pretty high, so we're gonna go with like 85 here. Stall speed 68, so we don't want to be anywhere near that. So we're gonna probably try for an approach speed at about 90 and then get down to 85 when we get there. In his awling button, he's heading towards me because I can see his landing light. So, alright, so let's chop some power. We're gonna go full prop, full mixture. We should definitely notice it. We'll get down to about 120 airspeed here. And he's gonna go right underneath me. Oh, it looks like Ailing is heading into Fire Island 2 as well. So that's good. It'll give me an idea of... I'm going to bring me to another point too. It's been absolutely amazing. I've flown in Papua New Guinea in the last week. I've flown into some remote areas in Alaska or whatnot. And I'd say 50-50 chance I've gone to some remote places and still managed that somebody was landing within 10 minutes of where I was landing. Alright, so is he still trying? Looks like he's still trying. And this looks very well done here. This airstrip looks well done by default. Which, if you know me and remember my X-Plane days, I was definitely knee-deep into airport design. I did a lot of design work and whatnot. So, did he go in? Oh, he's right there. Oh, man. Let's get out of here. Alright, so we're going to get down to 120. I'm going to get my approach flaps in. And holy moly, I'm at like 400 feet. That's not what I want. Alright, so let's stay at about 800 feet. I'm going to get up to about 800 feet. And alright, so we're paralleling the runway right now. Okay. Alright, so let's get gear in. And let's get landing flaps in. Let's get back into that 80. That's what I'm looking for. Prop sync is turn. All right, never mind. Don't need to do it on this one. All right, let's spot this landing here. All right, 80. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We don't want to get too slow here. Add a little power. Okay. Gear down 3 green. Flaps down. All right, here we go. Stay coordinated. Stay coordinated. And we're really gonna. Alright, so flaps are coming up as soon as we get on the ground. Get the weight on the wheels. Get on the 85 knots. I want to miss those trees at the beginning. Alright, looking good. Actually went out way better than I was expecting. Alright. Fly over the tree. Alright, chopper power. Flaring. And keep that nose wheel up. Flaps up. Brakes hard. Brakes hard. Oh, buttered. Oh, that was awesome. Alright, that was awesome. Wow. That was pretty sweet. Love it when a plan comes together. Alright, so let's get our mixture to idle, or mixture low for ground. Alright, hit the brakes, and FSE will do his thing of ending that flight. So I think that's all I had planned for tonight. I'm going to end on a high note for sure. Maybe do I want to do something else? So actually I got my daughter to bed late tonight, so it's already 10:30. I'm going to probably call it a night, end this on a good stream for the first time. I hope you enjoyed this. I really won't have a schedule until I see how this goes. How this goes with my schedule and whatnot. But I hope you guys enjoyed the flight, and you know, come back for more. Just get the alerts, grab a follow, and grab the alerts, and you should see. So, like again, my name's Jason Pollitt. Do a lot of flying in Alaska. I joined an Alaskan virtual airline, so that really what drew me into flying more. But I love the challenge and beauty of Alaska for sure. But that's not the only place. Like I said, I love flying in Papua New Guinea now with the just the great default scenery going on down there. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this flight, and stop by again, and I'll see you later, guys.